bought a lot, got a small construction loan, and made $160,000, and I had zero clue. I'd never built a house before. I had to ask my foundation guy how to do the foundation. I had to like look over the shoulder of the plumber. I had no idea what I was doing. I've been making these videos for about 3 weeks now, and my intent is to educate people out there in the profitability that rests inside of new construction development, because fix and flip, as far as I can see, is dead, and there's a number of reasons why that is. I have a lot of good friends in the industry, and it seems like they continually face all of the same problems. Their money's getting more and more expensive. Hard money used to be 10 to 12%. Now hard money lenders want anywhere from 14 to 18%. And you really cannot fund your fix and flip deals in any way other than hard money, because the banks just won't touch those type of projects. And so your money is continuing to get more expensive, but it's not like that in new construction. In new construction, you can walk into any bank. If you have a cash flowing business and you have a viable project, you can walk into any bank and expect to walk out with, I don't know, 7, 8, 9% in interest, 9 being like on the high end right now. And that's a drastic difference. The difference between 8% and 14% is a huge portion of your profit. So money's getting more expensive, and that's making it more difficult. But it's also getting more competitive. In the day and age of Pace Morby and Ryan Pineda, you know, nothing against these guys, but what they're doing is they're bringing a lot of newbies into the market, and it's fairly easy to, you know, buy a house down the street and put some paint on it and put it back on the market. Like, you can make money, you'll make a profit. But to do it at scale, it takes a level of skill, and people are realizing that the more they try to scale, the more roadblocks they're running into. The second roadblock that I see is, on top of cost of money, is deal flow, baby. Hey, I'm going to pause that for a second. My goal is to give as much value and education in these videos as possible, but I know that sometimes maybe I use too many technical terms. So I will do my best to dial down the technical gobbledygook. But I'd really appreciate comments and feedback from people. If you're watching these videos, and there's not a ton right now because it's a very, very new channel, but if you're watching these and you have a specific question, if you have something that you're curious about in the land development space, or pretty much anything real estate related, I'd love to hear it, and I'd be happy to do a video on it. These videos are conversations. I'm sitting down and just sharing, and I want to do it in a way that's articulate, but is not too full of technical information that people just aren't entertained by and won't stick with, because that doesn't help you, and that won't help the channel ultimately. So the amount of marketing dollars that are being spent is very, it's so disproportional. You know, when my brother and I started doing flips, I don't know, 15 years ago, you didn't have to spend $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 a month just to market down new properties, because it was a new thing. 20 years ago, nobody even knew what fix and flip was. Like, it was a brand new thing, kind of the equivalent to what Bitcoin was at the time. It just wasn't on the, it wasn't in the mainstream, but now it is. Now there's so many people fighting for these scraps, and so this vicious rat race, this cycle of spending more and more dollars on marketing, and the more you spend does not necessarily equate to better deal flow. On the inverse of that, in the ground up development, where you have an advantage in development is people are not competing for raw land. Now, granted, there's like large development companies out there, and there's guys like myself who are looking at raw land, but generally speaking, you know, it's not your average real estate investor that's going into a subdivision, buying a $200,000 lot, and then putting $1 million home on it. It's just a smaller sector of people. Over time, it's going to become more popular because people are going to realize they can make a whole bunch more money. And not only are they going to realize they can make a whole lot more money, it's also so much easier. It's just an easier process. Because in fix and flip, the third thing that's really causing the demise of fix and flip is unexpected delays and problems. It's always existed. It's not a new phenomenon to have construction delays or defects found in the property after the fact. But when your margin is slimmer because you gave a bunch of money to your hard money guy, and your margin's slimmer because you just spent 10 grand that month on marketing, and then you run into a devastating foundation issue, it can make you either break even or completely lose money on a property, and it's not cool. New construction, you control the process. Step by step, you're in control of the process. From the day that piece of property goes under contract, and it's easy to control because we think of homes being complicated and there's so many components, but it's not. There's very few steps and stages to building a home, and the money is just so easy to make. I remember the first house I built in a subdivision. It was a $400,000 home, and I made $160,000, and it was the easiest $160,000 I'd ever made. And I was blown away in comparison with all the other business models, with fix and flip, with doing roofing, with doing general contracting services, with rental properties. I went in, bought a house, got a small construction, or bought a lot, got a small construction loan, and made $160,000. And I had zero clue. I'd never built a house before. I had to ask my foundation guy how to do the foundation. I had to look over the shoulder of the plumber. I had no idea what I was doing. But my subcontractors just walked me through step by step. They were very gracious. Some of them took advantage of me, sure. But 95% of them, they cared about what they did. They cared about their work. They cared about their reputation. And so they walked me through it step by step, and I made $160,000. I am enjoying making these videos, and I'm going to continue to do so. 3 videos a week is my goal. Please be sure to like and subscribe. It helps out the channel, and I will see you on the next one.